Hello everyone, welcome to the solution of LeetCode problem 1609 named even odd trees. In this problem, we are given a binary tree and we have to determine whether it is an even odd tree or not. Now, what is the definition of the even odd tree? Here, the root of the binary tree is at level index 0 and each children are at level index 1, level index 2 and so on. Now, for every even index level, all nodes at the level have odd integer values and they are all strictly increasing from left to right. And here, for every odd indexed level, all nodes at the same level have even integer values and strictly decreasing order from left to right. Now, if a given tree is even odd, we have to simply return true, otherwise we have to return false. Now let's consider the first example. The root is 1, which has two children, 10 and 4. 10 also has one children, which is 3, and 3 has two children, 12 and 8. 4 has two children, 7 and 9. 7 has one children, which is 6, and 9 has one children, which is 2. So here we can see that the root is level 0 and it is already odd number, so it is okay. Now for the level 1, all integers are even, okay, and they are strictly decreasing. Okay, fine. Now for the third level, all integers are odd and they are strictly increasing. Now for the fourth level, all integers are even and they are strictly decreasing. So here we can see that these three satisfied the following even odd conditions. Now, I hope you understood the problem statement. Now let's move on to the algorithm. Now here, to understand the algorithm, we have taken this example. Here, the root is 1, and which has two children, 4 and 2. 4 has two children, 3 and 9. 3 has two children, 6 and 4. Now we have to determine whether it is a even odd tree or not. But the basic intuition is in the first level, it is odd number, so it is okay. In the second level, all of them are even number and they are strictly decreasing. For the third level, all of them are odd number and they are strictly increasing. And for the fourth level, all of them are even number and they are strictly decreasing. That means we can say that all of these levels satisfied the even odd tree conditions. Now, how can we basically solve it? Now, basic intuition behind the solution is if any kind of problem, we have to deal with the levels, we will use the breadth first search technique. Here, we will use the BFS and for each level, we will determine the conditions. Now, for the BFS, we will take a queue data structure. Now, the iteration starts from the root 1. We will insert it into the queue. Now here, we have to check whether this level is even or odd. Here, this is level 0. That means it is an even number. So, we have to check whether this is strictly increasing or not. Now, as the first value, it is already strictly increasing. So, we have to mark this level as okay. Now, we are at the second level. So, for the second level, we will insert the value 4 and 2 to the queue. Now, we have to check. This is the level 1, index number 1. Now, we have to check whether all of the element in this level is even or not. Yes, all of the element in this level is even, which is 4 and 2. And we have to check all of them are strictly decreasing or not. Now here, the basic intuition is when we insert an element into the queue, we will store them into a variable such that we can compare the next value with the previous one. So here we can see that 4 and 2, all of them are even number and they are strictly decreasing, so it is okay. Now we have to remove 4 and 2, and 2 does not have any of the children, but 4 have 2 children, which is 3 and 9. So we have to insert the value 3 and 9. Now this is the level 3 or level index number 2. Now all of the elements should be odd. So here 3 and 9, all of them are odd and they are strictly increasing. So how can we determine the value are strictly increasing into a level? We can simply store the previous element into a variable and compare the current element with the previous one all time. So it is okay. Similarly, we will check for the last level, which is 6 and 4. So here all of them are even number and they are strictly decreasing. So here we can see that this level or this tree is even odd tree. I hope you understood how we solve this problem by using the breadth first search. Now let's move on to the code. In this problem, let's understand the code carefully. We are given a function named is even odd tree, which has a root as a parameter, and it will return a boolean. Now we are taking a queue and inserting the root to the queue. Now, initially we have assumed that the first level is even. So we have to assign is even is true. Now we have to run this loop until the queue becomes empty, and each iteration we have to calculate the current level size. And here, if our current level is even, the previous will be int minimum. And if our current level is odd, we have to assign int maximum to previous. Finally, we have to iterate until the size of the level becomes 0 and assigned the current front element of the queue into a variable x, and we have to remove it. Now, these two conditions are the key conditions. Here, if the current level is even, that means our level should be strictly increasing. So here, if the current node value is less than or equal to the previous value, or our current node value is even, we have to return false. Otherwise, if the current level is odd, and here our level should be strictly decreasing. In this case, we have to check whether the current value is greater than the previous one or it is odd. If any of these conditions becomes true, we have to return false. That means this violates the even or tree conditions. Otherwise, we have to assign the current node value to the previous, and we have to add the left subtree to the queue if the current node has the left subtree. Otherwise, we have to add the right subtree to the queue if the current node has the right subtree. After completing iteration in one level, we have to assign the negative value to the boolean. Suppose if we have completed the iteration is in the even level, we have to make is even false. That means in now we have to consider the odd level, and vice versa. Finally we have to return true. If we did not match any of the conditions, finally we have to return true. I hope you understood the code. Thank you everyone for watching the video. We will get back soon with another LeetCode solution.